what's the story? We hear a lot about it, and I find from talking to people that most people don't really know what it is. They've heard that it's very helpful for very serious illnesses that might not be healable by other methods, or by methods that would be quite severe, but people don't really know what it's about. Because hemp is such an amazing plant. It's really easy to grow. It hardly needs any tending. It doesn't need chemicals. The only reason it's not growing widespread is it got prohibited, I think it was probably about 80 years ago, but actually in Elizabethan times it was the law that that landowners must devote some of their land to growing hemp or they get fined, because it's such a useful product in terms of the shipping industry and making ropes as well as nutritional. So it's kind of a bit of turnaround there. And but you can grow hemp in the UK and various other countries if you've got a license, as long as it's a hemp that is low in THC, and that's going to mean it's high in CBD. So what's the difference between hemp and cannabis? Well, they're the same plant, it's the same species. Hemp is just an older British term, it's an old English term for the cannabis plant, and it conventionally means hemp or cannabis that is low in THC. So that's the chemical that makes people feel stoned. So that's why it's legal to grow the license if it's low in THC. But the CBD and the other over 200 cannabinoids, it's over 200 cannabinoids in the hemp plant or the cannabis plant, all have amazing healing properties of their own. So they're called cannabinoids for historical reasons, really, because they were studied first in the cannabis plant, but actually these compounds are endogenous to humans too, and that's why they're so special. So we're really putting back into humans something that's got a bit missing. There's been a glitch. This is the point I always come back to. Since we left our biological habitat, changed our lifestyles, changed our eating habits, our DNA's been read not to full potential, so we're missing various bits and there's various glitches. So we're always dealing with this kind of compromised situation, and this is and CBD oil is one of the things that helps us in this situation. So over 200 cannabinoids, and they are similar to endogenous chemicals that our body's supposed to produce. So if we use it regularly, it helps to balance all systems, potentially anti-aging, potentially calming. You know, some people use it to help them sleep, some people help them to feel more mentally alert. Some people choose particular products, particular varieties of the plant for particular situations. And this is how it's got to be well known, because of the diseases it can help with, the conditions it can help with, like epilepsy and glaucoma and Alzheimer's, and also there's another big ailment that I'm not going to mention, but I think everybody knows, you know, about its reputation in that field. So both CBD and THC have this ability to selectively kill mutated cells that got out of hand. And it's just, you can read about this online. I think I'm going to spell it out in the book. But it's very boring, but it's just a mechanism. So for example, chemotherapy has the chemicals used in chemotherapy, the mechanism is wipes out all fast growing cells. So that could be cells that are rapidly growing and mutating. It also can be stomach lining cells, hair cells and so forth. But what CBD and THC do, they just get involved in the mutated cells. So it's very powerful. And you know, of course, you know, it's not really. I'm not really. I don't talk a lot about curing disease because it's just not my speciality, to be honest. My speciality is nutrition for wellness and for feeling great. But I just do want to cover that. And the thing is, how is CBD oil actually made? Well, it's not hemp oil, right? So hemp oil, if you go into the health store and buy hemp oil, that is from crushed hemp seeds, and that's super nutritious if it's not rancid, if it's fresh and cold pressed. Lots of omega-3s, omega-6s and other beneficial things in it. So that's hemp oil. We're not talking about hemp oil. There's hemp leaf, which I talked about yesterday, which is amazing. Hemp leaves, they can be sun-dried or dried into powder, and they are very alkalizing, bring along lots of minerals and light, silicon and so forth, and chlorophyll. they're great. But what this is that the hemp leaves and possibly the buds have been, or across hopefully the whole plant has been processed so that the cannabinoids are extracted. That can involve heat, it can involve carbon dioxide. There's various ways to do it, but it's processed to extract those cannabinoids. So this is a very, very different thing. And then that cannabis oil or the hemp oil, CBD oil might be in another oil carrier like olive oil or avocado oil or coconut oil or mixture. Occasionally it's done in actual hemp oil. It's a bit tricky because of hemp oils, because hemp oils are polyunsaturated oil, so it's a tendency to go rancid. So probably a monounsaturated oil like olive oil or avocado oil makes more sense, maybe with some coconut oil. So I think that's the basic story. But another thing I want to say is, because there's a widespread use of the cannabis plant in this country and elsewhere as for recreational use, and because the cannabis plant has been developed to be very high in THC over the years, and it's a very unbalanced plant, and this is why people sometimes get mental problems, sort of psychotic problems. It can occur. And bringing CBD in because really THC and CBD should be together in the plant. The CBD is the antipsychotic factor, so bringing CBD in helps people balance out their brains if they've kind of got overloaded on THC. I don't think a lot of time people don't even realise that this is what's going on. It's not the natural cannabis plant.